Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus here with a look at the first series of the crowdsourced indie toy sensation known as the Outlandish Mini Figure Guys. A line born from the October Toys community, it draws from fan-voted design pools and was produced thanks to a successful 2011 Kickstarter campaign. While it's gone on to basically become an annual phenomena, let's take a look at where it all began. Every OMFG series is made up of 5 figures, so I'm going to go through them in order of least favorite to most favorite, in my opinion. Let's start off by looking at Stroll, designed by John Spanky Stoats and sculpted by George Gaspar. The furry little Cyclops is pretty unsubtle, and proudly so. From his bulging eye to his exposed buttocks, Stroll's got a strong character design along a track that I, unfortunately, feel very little connection to. The Crawdad Kid was designed and sculpted by Dory, Daniel Yu. There's definitely something going on here, I just don't quite grip onto it myself. But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate the tasty texture dichotomy between Crawdad's tight-belted uniform and the greebly crustacean mush of his head and face. Reminding me of one of my own first character drawings as a child, the Phantom Outhouse was designed by Kyle Tai and sculpted by Ralph Neese. It is literally a giant poop monster exploding out of an outhouse. The sculpt powerfully depicts a giant poop monster exploding out of an outhouse. I admit perhaps I have an affinity with giant poop monsters, possibly outhouses as well. The squatly regal King Castor was designed and sculpted by the evil earwig Dominic Campisi. To be honest, I feel a similar nigh disconnect to the concept as I did with the Crawdad Kid, but something about King Castor's in-your-face, "I'm a castle" motif feels in line with what I like, and the mysterious heart-like generator thing on his back adds a little air of unexpected origin that pushes him up to rank number 2 in my books. But my favorite figure of OMFG Round 1? Multi-Skull. Designed and sculpted by Monster Forge Charles Marsh, Multi-Skull looks like a force in nature that'd be at home in nearly any Saturday morning fictional setting. He is a sinister-looking dude made entirely out of skulls, but what really brings him together for me is the careful placement of so many of those skulls. The large center mass skull, the cranial skull, the shoulder pad skulls, the skull gloves, and skull shoes. It's one thing to beef a bunch of skulls into a bipedal shape, it's another to invoke character and costume imagery within that visual limitation of, quote, he's made out of skulls, unquote. I dig this figure so much I jumped on purchasing one of Charles Marsh's painted custom versions, which really brings out the textures with Arctic flair. So do you remember Monster in My Pocket? Slightly more distantly, the Muscle Men? The Outlandish Mini Figure Guys are their spiritual successor. Successors? Whatever. These little nuggets of sculpted PVC are built to survive anything from your pocket to the sandbox to the nuclear holocaust, provided it's one of those nuclear holocausts that doesn't obliterate PVC plastic. The heat death of the sun remains untested. Also, their sculpts are all so strongly delivered that anyone who enjoys miniatures painting will find a lot of fun in adding some ink to the OMFG quintet. Hell, a simple black wash will probably already breathe another layer of life into them. I'd have done that with my second set of Onell OMFGs if I hadn't sold them to Baltan 2 out of a show of incredible compassion for his having missed the drop. And maybe needing the $10 or whatever it was. They're from a very specific angle of toy collecting, but if little rubbery dudes are something you can enjoy, give some consideration to the Outlandish Mini Figure Guys. Anyway, this has been internet personality Vangelus, and a friend of mine ended up getting one of his designs produced in OMFG Series 3. So, it'll be a little while until I talk about his fella, but I am 33.33333% of the way there.